We've been taking it up the bottom from Melania recently. She's been using a strap on and absolutely shafting me out of 20 grand. Trump coin looks like it could be about to have a breakout. If you look at the price, it's currently $29. And I, earlier today at $27, took a long position on the price of Trump coin. Now, I don't know if this is going to work out. We've been taking it up the bottom from Melania recently. She's been using a strap on and absolutely shafting me out of 20 grand. But again, earlier today, that was so much worse because looking at the price, and I mentioned this again on Twitter earlier today, Melania coin looked like it's due a bounce. Just look how much it's been sold into. It's done nothing but go down since it listed. And eventually, my speculation is this will probably list on Binance. It will probably list on Bybit. Now, you might see my position is actually open here on Bybit. But still, if you go on here and you type in Melania like this, only this Melania option pops up. There's no spot option to buy Melania, only perpetuals. Now, in order to list Melania on a spot pair, the exchanges have to go out and they have to buy it. Now, you can imagine the 2 or 3 days of it stringing together some pretty big pumpage here. Well, it screams suspicion to me. And I think these big exchanges, your Coinbases, your Binances, your Bybits of the world, they're going to want to curry some favor with the US government. And how better to do that than listing the presidential wife's coin? So I'm still holding long currently on Melania. And I don't think that we're going to lose money on this in the long run, although we are still losing $22,000 on it. And I'm sure that there's many of you out there that think I'm completely delusional for having this theory. But I'm not, I promise you. That's why Trump coin pumped up so ridiculously, first of all, is literally because everybody wanted to list it. Let me show you the chart. So it comes out and people are like, damn, what is this? And at this point in time, it's only listed on perpetuals. However, then Bybit lists it, Binance lists it, Coinbase lists it, everybody lists it. And then there's a sell-off because of all of the people taking profit on the long positions from this point in time. But at this point in time, I think the opposite could potentially happen on Melania. And the reason that I think it could happen on Melania is because everybody is shorting this. I don't know anybody longing this right now. I think that you would be crazy to be longing this. But yeah, I don't know really that many people that are actually longing this right now. When you look at the funding rate, again, it's skewed into the short positions here because it's below 0.01. If we're to look at Trump and see is Trump skewed towards the long side or the short side, again, Trump is also skewed towards the short side, which suggests to me we could be about to have a bit of pumpage going into Sunday and Monday on these two coins. Now, I haven't mentioned it yet today, but if you want to win this Rolex, then you can do it. It's very easy to do that, and all you need to do, slap a like on the video, leave a comment down in the comment section about what you think is going to pump over the course of the next week, and make sure you subscribed to the channel. No one ever leaves, me recommendations for coins. I'd recommend that you do that because a lot of these people that do leave recommendations for coins, I actually go on and buy it, and then I end up making content about it. So do leave me recommendations for the coins that you hold in your portfolio, and I'll definitely be researching a bunch of them. But if you do want to win this watch or $10,000 in cash, that draw is coming on the 31st of January this year. So all you need to do to win, slap a like, subscribe, and leave a comment, and then you're entered into it. This Trump trade's looking better and better and better, and the sizing of it is pretty aggressive as well. It's $124,000. And the reason I'm not going into the millions and millions of dollars is that my New Year's resolution this year is to not go crazy with the numbers. My New Year's resolution is I don't need to risk it anymore. I'm in a very good financial position. I don't need to risk it. We make a lot of money here, and we're very good at investing, so we don't need to risk crazy numbers. But 100K is okay. And also with Melania, again, there's 80 grand in that Melania trade. So between these two here is $200,000, which is not to be sniffed at. But again, compared to what I've done in previous years, yes, these are smaller numbers. No, I'm not wrecked. And there's just not a lot of point in me risking it all on the market because I don't need to make a lot. And I'd rather make these steady, sustainable gains and make interesting plays. That aside, what is going on with the price of Bitcoin? Because we need to discuss that. Bitcoin is actually looking pretty decent. Now, I raised the point of we could potentially be forming kind of like a diamond top pattern. That diamond top pattern is more like, it's changed, to be honest, and it's more like looking like this, a big old pennant formation. Now, the downside here, no, there isn't that, I don't mean the downside in like that way, but the downside would be a loss of this level, and the upside naturally would be a break of this level. So what are those two levels? That would be a break of $106,480, and this one be a loss of $102,543. If we're then to go over and reload the VRVP here, So it actually pops up on the screen. You can see that we're at peak range of liquidity right now. And the nice thing about where we're heading in the direction of is this right here. That's the next peak range of liquidity, and it's actually sitting above the price right now at $108,000. That would be a breakout, and that would mean next week we get $120,000 Bitcoin. Now, when it comes to Ethereum, there's also some interesting things going on because Ethereum is doing the exact same thing. And I said last week that I expected Ethereum to hit $4,200 this week. It didn't, naturally, of course, because why would it? It's Ethereum. But when you start looking at these things on slightly higher time frames, using slightly more of the chart here, there's a couple different formations. You've got a head and shoulders top pattern here. I don't think that'll play out. I think that, to be honest, it's not a very complete head and shoulders top pattern. What I think will play out is I think that Ethereum is eyeing this level and this level in terms of these ranges of liquidity. And it's again why I'm not so bearish right now on, I mean, I'll be pretty bearish all week, but we've not had these breakdowns. Things to consider right now. The Bitcoin liquidation heat map. On the liquidation heat map, we can see a high range of liquidity here at 102K, which would be the breakdown of that formation, and a high level of liquidation here over 108K, again, a breakout of the formation. When it comes to Ethereum, if we let that load for a second, and just give it a second to pop up, 3, 2, 1, there he goes. And you see down here, a massive range of liquidations, and up here, again, another massive range of liquidations. So we don't have any clear direction coming from the charts right now, but what we can say is that people are feeling optimistic. When looking at the Fear and Greed Index, that's currently reading 75 points on the Fear and Greed Index, and we can see that for a while now, we've been pretty consistently happy and bullish. Even more interestingly than that is when we start looking at summaries for things that are going on chain right now, we can see that there's lower selling pressure. We can see the reserve has been decreasing, so that means there's less Bitcoin in circulation. We can see that there is a high ETF buying pressure right now and low in US investor buying pressure, but that doesn't matter. That is retail. We don't care about retail. We care about this one, and that one's green. The rich people are buying, and that's the most important metric. Derivatives, the funding rate gives a dominant long sentiment, which is ultimately quite bullish, and there's a bunch of other things that we could read onto on here, but we've not got time in today's video. We'll cover that tomorrow when we've got a bit more time. Either way, I feel very, very bullish right now on the prices of Bitcoin, Ethereum, and especially Trump and Melania. Because when we look at Trump coin, if it starts breaking upwards here, the next target becomes approximately $44. Now that's a 50% gain on this price, and we know how prone Trump coin has been to these wild fluctuations in price so far, and I would expect trend is your friend on that, and we can probably expect more wild fluctuations in price next week. What do I expect from my trades? Well, I aim to hold both of these trades, at least overnight. We'll see how they're getting on tomorrow, and we'll see if these two can level each other out first of all, with this one dropping down to maybe $15,000 in a loss, and this one coming up to around $15,000 in a profit. In that scenario, I might choose to close both of them just so I don't actually lose any money here. But either way, this trend here on Trump and Melania coin, I think it's starting to turn around. I think we're starting to see slightly more bullish sentiment, and ultimately, we also need to be checking in on XRP, because XRP has slowed down recently, but I think XRP might be in an interesting spot again. XRP, and nobody thinks it's going to go to $10, apart from the XRP lot. Everyone with a brain, or at least considers themselves to have a brain, thinks that XRP will start going down, but it's now at $3 and it doesn't seem to be crashing. Could XRP have another run to the upside? I think XRP can do. In fact, I think that the next run on XRP will probably take it up to $5 per coin, because XRP people do not sell. You understand what that means? If they don't sell, then the price just keeps going up. And when they do sell, it will go down very quickly. But it doesn't mean that it can go ridiculously high first. The market, what's the saying? It can stay irrational longer than you can stay liquid, or whatever that means. That's true sentiment. Also, by the way, if you don't already use it, check out Bluefin. You'll find a link for it in today's video description. You can trade Melania on Bluefin. You can trade Trump on Bluefin. You can trade Ethereum on Bluefin, and you can trade Bitcoin on Bluefin. So check out Bluefin. It's the best exchange to be using if you're in one of the not so free zones, or if you're in a free zone as well, because you don't necessarily need to use KYC. It's an option on the exchange, which means it's way easier to sign up and way easier to start trading. But at the same time as all of that, there is amazing bonuses if you use the link in today's video description, such as getting VIP 1 pretty much permanently on my link. So if you use the link in today's video description, everyone that uses it gets VIP 1, which is like a 30% fee discount. I actually know what it is off the top of my head, but I think it's 30%. They give you a good fee discount, which makes it cheaper to use than any other exchange. So if you're bored of paying high fees, use the link for Bluefin, and it won't work if you don't use the link. You have to use the link for that to work. If you choose to use not the link, it won't work. So it's as simple as that. And I appreciate it as well because it does help out the channel, brings in some revenue for me, brings some extra free revenue for you because you save money on fees. It's a win-win for everybody. So on that note, guys, thank you all for watching. I'm very optimistic about what's going to happen with Trump coin here. Hopefully these numbers start to even out pretty soon. And of course, I am in a small Bitcoin long position as well. But on that note, guys, thank you all for watching. Drop a like, subscribe. Don't forget, it's Rolex time. So subscribe. And how many days left? How many days have we got to go now? Not long, 6 days. 6 days and we're drawing the watch. So be subscribed, leave some comments. See you in a bit, everybody. This is